Ever get that chill down your spine when a news story just stops you in your tracks? Today's deep dive is like that, a case from Jamaica, a university dorm room, the kind of place you think should be safe, right? February 2023, and it's about to get really disturbing.
Yeah, and it really brings up this whole conversation about violence happening where we least expect it, on campuses, even in supposedly secure dorms.
So we're looking at Matthew Hyde, student at the University of the West Indies, and the victim, his ex-girlfriend. It's already come out that he held her captive for, get this, 3 days.
3 days inside a dorm, that's terrifying.
The Jamaica Gleaner report is just awful torture using a hot clothing iron. Just horrifying. But here's the thing, Hyde's already pleaded guilty.
To grievous bodily harm, which in Jamaica is no small charge, that tells us the prosecution wasn't messing around.
So help us understand that. What does that actually mean legally in Jamaica, and what kind of consequences could Hyde be facing?
Okay, so grievous bodily harm. It means proving Hyde didn't just hurt her, he caused really serious injuries, the kind that have lasting impact, could even be permanent. We're talking heavy stuff. This wasn't a slap on the wrist offense. In Jamaica, you're looking at a long time in prison, potentially even life, depending on the judge.
Wow, so with a potential sentence like that hanging over his head,
Yeah.
why would Hyde even consider pleading guilty? You didn't think he'd want to fight it, try to get a lesser
Yeah.
sentence, right?
You'd think so, and it's a good question. It's hard to know for sure without being inside the case, but there's a couple of things that likely came into play. One is the victim's well-being, a trial. That's a whole other ordeal. Super public, potentially re-traumatizing. Having to relive that nightmare, that's a lot to ask of anyone who's been through something like that.
Makes sense putting the victim through all of that. It's just awful.
Exactly. And then there's the whole matter of strategy. Look, trials are unpredictable. A guilty plea. It provides a sort of dot certainty. It guarantees a conviction no matter how long or short the sentence ends up being.
So back to this dorm situation for a second. This went on for days, right? 3 days she was held captive.
Hmm.
You got to wonder, what kind of security measures are in place at a university like this? You'd hope they'd have something to catch something like this sooner.
Yeah, and look, most universities do. You've got campus security, cameras, the whole 9 yards, sometimes even those emergency blue light systems. But none of it matters if it's not used or if people aren't paying attention.
It's like anything else. You can have the best tools in the world, but if no one's using them, what good are they?
Exactly, and that's where the human element comes in, right? You need that culture of looking out for each other. Students need to feel empowered to speak up, report anything that seems off.
Yeah, it's like that saying, see something, say something. You never know what could be happening behind closed doors, so if something feels wrong, it probably is.
Right, because sometimes it's not about knowing for sure, it's about trusting your gut and feeling like you can speak up without being judged or dismissed. That's huge, and that goes for anyone, not just on campuses.
Absolutely. This isn't some isolated incident.
Yeah.
It's a reminder to all of us that this can happen anywhere, to anyone. We have to be vigilant, look out for one another, and create spaces where people feel safe coming forward.
And I think that's a really powerful message to end on. It's not enough to just punish the perpetrator. We have to support the victim, help them heal, and work towards creating a world where this kind of violence simply doesn't happen. We've got a long way to go, but it starts with each of us.
Couldn't agree more. Well said.
Yeah.